Ever wondered what the personal collections of an entire jewelry store staff look like? We're Jean Vintage, a vintage and estate jewelry store based in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Our team sources, inspects, refurbishes, and sells vintage jewelry online and in person to customers from all over the world. Working in this industry makes it pretty difficult not to build up a jewelry collection of your own, and everyone has their own distinct style, so let's take a tour of each team member's personal jewelry collection.
Hi, I'm Laura May. I am the founder and co-owner of Jean Vintage. I've been in the industry for over 15 years, and I'm really excited to show you my personal collection. To begin with what I'm wearing right now, this is a very special piece, my engagement ring. It's an old European cut diamond, just shy of 2 carats, and then I have sapphires on the shoulders because that's my birthstone. They're both in platinum. I have a wedding band as well. This used to be my promise ring prior to my engagement ring. So the necklace I'm wearing, genuine moonstone. It's an early 1900s piece. I found it while antiquing for like a crazy deal. So as you can see, I definitely gravitate towards the Art Deco era. Filigree, colored stones, I would pick over diamonds most days. And just anything that is sentimental. Like every piece I can hold and I have like a memory attributed to it. So here's a very special piece. I worked hard for this baby. I was in labor for 3 days, so this is my push present from Jean. It's a sapphire with diamond halo. This piece here was my birthday present last year. It has sapphire center with old cut diamonds. And you know I love sapphires. You're gonna see a lot of them in my collection. This was my grandma Doris's mother's ring, and it has the birthstone of all of her sons. She had 4 sons, as well as the birthstone for herself and my grandpa. This ring is very special to me. It was one of my first pieces of fine vintage jewelry, and Marty and I bought it just as a setting from a coin shop. It was going to be scrapped. Marty found the ruby and we had it set. These are some of my cultured pearl rings. They're all from around mid-century, and pearls are one of my favorite gemstones, so you'll see a lot of these in my collection as well. This I sourced with Amanda in New York City. It was our first trip to New York City. We were there for GIA. We did all of our lab classes there. Sapphire accents, diamonds. These are some more special family pieces. So this is from my grandma Doris, rubies and diamonds, and this is from my mom. So this is in my jewelry box. I think it's Bakelite. Somebody randomly gave this to me at Brimfield and said, "You are a gambler." I am not a gambler, so I found that interesting and it sits in my jewelry box. So we got here, I have old mine cut diamonds that were put in a modern mount. And these here are from my mom and genuine garnets. These are also special in my collection. These are just sterling silver and paste, but Art Deco, 1930s. I love them. All right, let's go to bracelet land. Lots of Art Deco pieces here. Sterling silver, gold, cultured pearls, filigree. This is one of my most special pieces. After I earned my graduate gemologist diploma at GIA, Jean treated me to this bracelet. It's platinum, diamonds, probably 40s. It is also a watch. This was my Aunt Cindy's charm bracelet. Very special to me. She was a Virgo too, as am I. This is a really pretty Art Deco watch. Border of diamonds and sapphires, and it is wind up. Now we're on dependents. So these are just costume jewelry, but some of my earliest Meijin pieces. We're talking way over 15 years ago. And I somehow found them in like 3 different colors, and I used to wear these all the time. Sterling silver, Art Deco, and engraved MH. And those are the initials of my partner. This Marty and I saved from a melt bin from a coin shop. It's English sterling silver, very old. Super cool early 1900s sterling silver pendant. Family heirloom. I'm not sure who it's from. I was given a lot of jewelry when I was very young, and somehow I successfully kept it over all these years. Here we have some silver pieces. This is really cool. Early 1900s, 800 silver mini mirror. You're probably noticing I do like old silver. Here is a beautiful piece, early 1900s. Came from a really special dealer. It was originally his wife's. Love token with mama on it. Victorian. This is neat. It was made from a watch that was half destroyed. We put an onyx there and made it into a necklace.
Hi, I'm Amanda Jean. I'm the co-owner of Meijin Vintage. I'm a GIA graduate gemologist, and I've been in the jewelry industry for 15 years, and this is my jewelry collection. Okay, so here is my ring collection. You can tell that rings are my favorite kind of jewelry to collect. I'm usually drawn to yellow gold, but I also do enjoy platinum. Gem Gossip definitely got me into these kind of like Art Nouveau diamond shield rings. This is the newest addition to my collection. Meijin actually had this in a story sale, and when no one claimed it, I tried it on, and it happened to be my exact size, which is cool because it can't be resized. So it felt like it was meant to be. I would say this is the ring that I wear the most, just because it's really, really comfortable, and I feel like it just kind of goes with everything. It's a snake motif with an antique diamond from the early 1900s. Here is another one that is pretty new to my collection. I love that they're chunky old cut diamonds. Early 1900s again. This one is really cool. It's a Victorian pet ring with black enamel. This was a word of endearment in the late 1800s. So these 3 rings are family rings that I inherited. This wedding band was my great-grandmother Cora's. This wedding band was my grandmother's Luella May. And then this ring my mom gave me. She said it was the first piece of fine jewelry she bought herself in the late 70s. So these pieces represent 3 women in my family. This one has a really cool Art Deco look. It's actually a reproduction, but I still fell in love with it. I found it on 47th Street when I had just graduated from GIA, and I purchased it for myself. It was probably the most expensive piece I ever purchased. These are 2 aquamarines from the Art Deco era. You can see the one on the right is much more saturated. It was actually sold to me as blue topaz. So I was very excited when I tested it, and it turned out to be aquamarine. Okay, here are my necklaces. You can see I definitely am more drawn to yellow gold, but I do have a couple nice platinum pieces and white gold here. This was a family heirloom brooch that I inherited, converted it into a necklace. This was a broken watch, and we had our jeweler take the broken watch piece out and put in this piece of onyx. This is one of the newer pieces in my collection. I got this from an auction. It was an Art Nouveau men's tie accessory, and it's a carved emerald of a woman's face. This heavy gold necklace and this heavy gold necklace I inherited from my grandma, Doris Jean. That's where I got my middle name from. She loved heavy gold. Her and my grandpa bought lots and lots of gold in the 80s when they would visit Aruba. Here are 2 Victorian love tokens. I obviously had to keep that one because it has my middle name. And then this one is engraved RJ, and I wear it for my dog, Ruby Jean. Speaking of Ruby Jean, when she was a puppy and she lost her little baby teeth, I had our jeweler dip her tooth into 18 karat gold so I can wear her little baby tooth. This is just a costume flapper necklace from the 1920s, and I wore it a couple years ago for Halloween. Both of these bracelets are from the 1970s. This one is special because it was my mom's. She got it for graduation in 1976. And then this one I found at a flea market, and it stands for the Equal Rights Amendment. So these were made in the 70s, and it's just a cool piece of feminist memorabilia. Here we have a Victorian jet and pyrite pendant, and then my favorite locket in my collection, which is this fierce Art Nouveau locket. And I have it hung on a pocket watch chain. I'm not super into earrings, but when I do wear them, I like to wear kind of more statement earrings. These earrings my mom gave me. They're from the 80s. This is my favorite go-to everyday bracelet. It's Victorian, and it has that buckle motif. I have a couple expansion bracelets here. This matches the necklace I got from my grandma. And then more bangles. I like to stack them. So we occasionally lend jewelry out for photo shoots and different events for celebrities. So this one we lent out to one of the band members of Boy Genius, and when she sent it back, I decided to keep it for myself, and I call it my good luck hummingbird brooch.
Hi, I'm Dahlia Jean from Me Jean Vintage, and I'm the inventory manager, and I've been in the industry for 10 years. I really gravitate towards older pieces. I'd say Victorian / Edwardian are my favorite eras. I love butterfly jewelry. That's another big thing. And I really gravitate towards mourning pieces as well. That's something I really love. And that's probably the reason I love so much Victorian jewelry, is just because of the symbolism behind it, just how every single little thing meant something. This was an Otsby and Barton ring that I inherited from my grandmother. This is a Gimel ring that I inherited from my grandmother as well. This is my favorite kitty cat ring. This is an antique pansy that was converted into a ring that I actually got from someone I met online that was one of our customers and I became good friends with. This is everybody's favorite ring in my collection. It's just very funky and fun, and it's one of my favorite pieces that I wear almost every day. This is my hair ring that I obviously don't wear, but I love having in my collection. This is one of the newest pieces I've added to my collection. It has some really cool kind of serpents on the sides here. This was probably my first ring that I ever got as a baby. These are my everyday rings. I just got this cigar band because I actually lost my last one.
Remind everyone not to wear their rings in the pool,
Yep.
Dahlia.
I lost it at the Hershey Park wave pool, so don't do that. Big mistake. This is an antique band that I paired with this piece. And this is another one I got last year in the fall that I love. This is my letter D diamond ring. Oh, I guess it's upside down technically. Oh, this is also a locket. So I have one of these antique expansion bracelets that's a locket. And I've got my letter V ring for my daughter, Vienna. This is my Art Deco / Edwardian platinum topped ring that I love. It's got diamonds and a pearl. And these are my 2 rose gold rings with diamonds and a little buckle. And my other antique cigar band that I love as a thumb ring.
And
I
you
also have this.
And you wear this entire stack every single day.
Every day. So this has some fun little charms in here that I've accumulated over the years. This one actually has a funny story behind it. Probably when Instagram first started, I entered a giveaway by Audrey Kitching, the OG scene queen, and I won. And she gave me a big piece of raw opal, and I had it converted into a little charm. This is another really funky piece that I inherited from my grandma, and it's a little seahorse. So this is actually a weeping willow that is made out of hair, and it is a mourning piece. It's definitely older. I love this one. This is actually my grandmother's wedding ring set that she had labeled, so that's how I know. So all of these little baby bracelets were my daughter's when she was little, and she's now 13. They're super cute and tiny. And now my nieces will get to wear these. Since my middle name is Jean and I work for May Jean Vintage, I needed to have a little Jean brooch, and I actually converted it into a necklace, and I used to wear this a lot. So these are 3 pieces that I have in my collection that are a type of glass called sapphirite, and it's actually mixed with gold with a blue colored glass to make this effect. And there's some pieces that are kind of rare and hard to find. We've only had a few pieces like this in our shop before. Probably my favorite motif would have to be the crescent moon with the star. I'm a big Halloween person, so I have some of these are a little modern, like these, but then I have some that are older, like this one is probably my oldest kind of Halloween inspired piece that I love. Pumpkins. It's very on brand for me. So this is actually a pretty cool piece that I traded another girl in the industry for, this really big smoky quartz monofigure, and you can see the inclusions in there. I don't think I've ever seen one quite this big in person. Another piece that's super special is this locket. I was listing this years ago at May Jean, and I noticed that there was something behind the picture, and when I pulled the pictures out, I was able to see that there were little love notes in the back here for this couple that I was able to find where they were buried. I think it was Massachusetts, and it's Vesta D. Packard and Arthur Packard, and it was just really cool seeing little love notes behind the pictures and just all the history that I was able to find online. I definitely went down a rabbit hole when I discovered these. This is a sweet little boy. Oh, I also love jet jewelry, so I have a lot of jet hearts, like this one that has Harriet on the back, which is super cute. These I got from my grandma as well when she passed away, and they have little moths and birds that were made from moth wings, and it has a mother of pearl on the back.
I'm Heidi. I'm the brand and community manager here at May Jean Vintage, and I've been in the jewelry industry for 5 years. My general style is I tend to love very colorful pieces. I do tend to reach more for sterling silver and white gold than yellow gold. I still can't remember exactly for sure which piece I first purchased from Meijin Vintage, but it was one of these two. I think it was this one because I love the Western element to it. The star and the onyx. I loved it. But then I got this one very shortly thereafter because blue topaz represents honesty and I was going through a divorce at the time. So it was a really sweet reminder to myself to just always be honest. And then when my divorce was complete, I purchased this for myself just to commemorate the journey that I had gone through. And this is emerald. I love colors. So I love opal. I also have this opal mosaic charm here as well. My sister gave me this one, and I just love all the colors in those pieces. This is a shaker locket I got from Meijin Vintage, and it includes my birthstone and the birthstone of my 2 children. This is another one I got from Meijin Vintage, and it has a picture of my 2 boys. This is one I got recently that I really love. Each of the gemstones represents a planet, and the center stone represents the sun. I think it's really special. I love anything that represents outer space. This is finally what I treated myself to. I had been looking for a birthstone ring for years, and this was finally the one that I felt I needed to have. So it's a huge created ruby, and then it has a halo of created spinel. I actually never take this bracelet off, and it's just a basic sterling chain, and it's from Pike's Place Market in Seattle. So every time I travel, I try to purchase a piece of jewelry for myself as well. This is a spoon ring. I'm very into feminine liberation and empowerment, so that's what this ring represents for me. So another thing about me is I kind of nerd out when it comes to prehistoric facts and movies and history, and that's why I had to have this amber ring. I love how old amber is and tree resin in general, and it just always makes me think of Jurassic Park. This is another one I really, really like just because of how big the gemstone is. It's just sterling silver, and it has a lot of weight to it, and I just always feel a little extra powerful when I wear it. A guy at a bar in Denver told me I definitely shouldn't wear it, Denver, Colorado, that I shouldn't wear it on this finger because he and other men might get the impression I'm married, and I told him that's fine.
Hi, my name's Allison, and I'm the operations manager here at Meijin Vintage. I have been in the jewelry industry for a total of about 20 years. My general style, I definitely gravitate towards the retro era. Anything boho or avant-garde or nature-inspired, I'm definitely going to gravitate towards. First, I guess I'll start with my watch. I had always wanted a Shelah watch. Shelah is a really, really cool American-made watch company based in Detroit. And of course I had to get the cool moon phase style, so I always know when the full moon's coming. On this hand, I have my scarab bracelet. This is a Meijin piece. And I just loved the really nice size of all of these different scarabs. So, you know, it's so wide that it's a 2-link bracelet. And I was also really drawn to the gemstones on this one. It is gold fill, but if you love that yellow gold color, honestly, for me, gold fill is such a great addition to your vintage collection. My favorite piece would be my crescent moon ring. And this was probably one of the first purchases I ever made from an estate jewelry section. My husband gave me this for a Christmas present, so I love to wear the rings that he got me on my heartline finger. So this one is paired with my diamond wedding band. And then right next door we have this super cute yellow gold cat ring. So I just love how it's sort of like a band. And then of course the cat has diamond eyes, which is adding a little sparkle. We love that. Another ring that my husband bought for me, a Carrera ring, and this has a really, really beautiful natural opal in the center. I love this because it's a hand carved wax casting. You can see like the really intricate details of like the male and female form there. My first Meijin ring was this cutie. I love this one because it's two-tone, and you know, it's really just kind of like a simple solid gold stacking band, but the crescent details on the side I thought kind of gave it, you know, a little bit of a celestial, nature inspired look. And then my midi ring is a love ring with a cute little diamond in the center. So I'll keep going with the ring theme. I have a couple in the white metal here. You guys might remember my cat ear ring. This was a precursor to my Meijin cat ring, but I do still love that when I wear my white metal. This cutie is a new to me Meijin ring that I just got, and I had been wanting one of these for my collection. This is a carved moonstone, so love the man in the moon. What would match that perfectly would be these earrings. This was another like modern estate buy, and these are sterling silver with moonstone at the top, and then this is created opal on the bottom, which is really, really vibrant and beautiful. Another great silver piece that I recently got, and you guys might recognize this from the shop. Sometimes we get these love tokens in. I became an aunt to my nephew a little over a year ago, and that's been really special for me, so I love that. Another silver one that I love, just kind of going through all the silver jewelry. This one was also my mom's, and this piece was actually from Avon, if you guys remember Avon. And I've always kind of like had a romantic thing for hearts, so I just thought that was beautiful, and I updated it with some faceted aquamarine. That was my mom's birthstone. And another great silver piece is this Montana agate, almost like carnelian, orange, white striped agate. So this might be my favorite piece, and that might surprise some people, but I always kind of had a thing for vintage symbolism, and this one you can see might be a little mysterious. They inscribe half of the characters on one side and then the other half on the flip, and when it spins, you know, you can actually read the entire inscription. So this one says Je t'aime, which is I love you in French. My husband and I went on a trip to Paris, and my favorite part of that entire trip was sourcing and treasure hunting in the flea markets of Paris. And this is actually just a brass piece, but I did have it gold plated. Also a long length gold. This one is, I would consider it probably like a statement pendant. Retro era. This has a really, really cool malachite gemstone in the center. Another Meijin ring. I love this one. It's a cute little band I do on my pinky, or sometimes I wear that on a chain. This has really, really adorable little star incised engraving around the continuous center of the band. Similar celestial vibe. This was a brooch, and it has these really, really cute little created emeralds, kind of star faceted, a little bit of like a calibre cut in this deco brooch. My Traditional engagement ring is a vintage diamond. That is the diamond my dad proposed to my mom with. I love a pear cut. I love the teardrop shape. But yeah, I love it because it's platinum. So platinum is like the true white metal. It's a little grayer than white gold, but doesn't ever need that rhodium plating. So that is like a truly, truly everlasting heirloom in my opinion. So, and then the figure. Ooh, this was another really cool, really special piece that I got from May Jean. So the figure was always a traditional symbol for femininity. I, needed a symbol of power for the divine feminine. I love that it's amethyst. When it catches the light, you can kind of see like the banding through the quartz.
Hi, I'm Marty Hicks. I'm the HR manager at May Jean Vintage. My wife Laura is the founder and co-owner. I've been with May Jean since 2010, 2011, right when Laura founded it, all the way through teaching, and I just decided to leave teaching this year and join May Jean full-time. Anything from Lancaster pocket watches to some Art Nouveau, sterling, some English hallmarked pieces. I am a Mason. Probably the oldest piece that I've had is the Tiger's Eye cameo. That was my great Uncle Marty's wedding ring. This we found coming back from Boston back in 2014. This is from 1883, English hallmarked, and we just randomly found it. It had my initials already in it, so we thought that was special. Dual snake ring, Victorian, garnets. This one's 1894, I believe. This is technically my wedding ring from Church & Co. We had it custom made for Laura and I's crests. Hers are 3 feathers and mine is a stag. So instead of the torse at the bottom, we decided to replace it with a feather. I wear this one pretty much every day. Just something simple. Laura gave me this for Christmas. Her name and our son's name also starts with L. But I think the newest piece is this loop. A lady custom makes these and sells some at Renninger's. This is a coin silver Lancaster PA pocket watch before it became Hamilton. Attached to it, I have an English hallmarked chain and fob. I like collecting the pocket watch chains that are sterling because these are hallmarked on every single link.
Hi, my name is Shelah and I am the studio assistant here at May Jean Vintage, and I've been in the jewelry industry for about 3 months. So this is a watch of my grandmother's, and as I was looking at it closer the other day, it is a Hamilton watch, which is really cool since our store is located right next to Hamilton Watch downstairs. This is a Movado watch, which is much more recent, but it's cool. My neighbor actually gave me these 2 watches as a thank you for helping out when she wasn't home, and yeah, it's just an extremely nice gesture. This is another watch of my grandmother's. This is my favorite bracelet that I got from my grandmother. She at one point worked in a jewelry store herself, so I have some of the items that she really liked. I think this piece in itself is just really beautiful. Love the intricate details. This is a ring that I got from a Philly-based jeweler, Angela Monaco, and citrine ring. Definitely a more modern style. Citrine is my favorite stone. If you know me, you know I love the color yellow, so the citrine stone is just my favorite. It's such a pretty color. That color, that yellow hue, it really makes me happy. This is another ring that was my grandmother's. This is my first May Jean piece. It is white sapphire and mixed metal, which obviously I really like gold and silver. So That's one of my favorites. I love how this looks in the sunlight too. It's really beautiful. I have this necklace that my friend Sarah got me from a jewelry store in New York. I really like. Lastly, I have this little, my eclectic tones. These were another set that I got from my grandmother. I don't believe they're particularly valuable. They're more of a sentimental item. I'm definitely a bit more of a modern girly, and I didn't think that would be the case. And I also find myself being drawn to more feminine, girly jewelry than I thought I would.
Hi, my name is Mary, and I am the goldsmith for Meijin. I started making jewelry probably at 15. Well, probably younger, but taking courses at 15. I made that when I was 16 at Savannah College of Art and Design for that program, and I was so proud of myself. The lifestyle I live, I can't wear dainty things, so I like to have big chunks. And my style is more, it's not as feminine, like I like more androgynous masculine pieces that layer well. These silver pieces were my mom's. I like big pieces of jewelry. I like things that make a statement, not a whisper. This necklace over here is part of the collection. I like this necklace because it's mostly cold connection. The links are bent together instead of soldered, and I just think that's really cool. And when I was a kid, I used to play Jess with my sisters, and we would wear like a tiara like that.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. This is also just a pendant I have. I got an antique store. It's a little messed up back here. There was a glass cabochon in there. I took it out because I wanted to put lapis in there to match these earrings. This is bone and lapis. I got this pair at an antique store in Philadelphia called Halloween. 16th birthday present, I got this beret bracelet. I haven't really worn it too often. I'm not really a watch charmy kind of girl, but my mom gave it to me, so it's special. This is also one of my mom's rings. It's part of the silver collection that I just showed you. It needs some repair work, but I don't really want to touch it. I kind of want to just like it the way it is. It's very structural. It's just beautiful. Horsey ring. I think I got this for my 18th birthday. It's an antique. It's from France. Little ruby eyes or garnet eyes, and then we have diamond millies up here. And I always thought it was kind of like a seahorse, the way the tail is, but very cute. I am an animal person, so I also have foxies. Little, I don't know if those like ruby's eyes. Ruby eyes, 2 foxies. Super cute. An armadillo ring. My old coworker made me this armadillo ring. He surprised me. It was supposed to be silver, but he put it in gold. And they're just so cute. But I just love animals that look like tiny wizards. These are my favorite pair. I bought these, I think, a store on Etsy. I'm not sure. It was a couple years ago. It's a little oxidized, and there is some holes in there, but they're lightweight, hollow, super cute. Some pieces I made. I made my sister a set of these rings in gold. I said you can have one, but she decided she needed all 3. But you can wear them as a cross, flip it over, and I made her some middies too, so she can wear them as a stack. This was during COVID. I was just kind of bored and wanted to practice in my studio at home, so I just made myself some stacking rings. So it's just a satin finish with just some carved out squares. I also made myself this little nail ring, just a Cartier inspiration. And then my little snaky guy. I carved him with my files, and then I added a little diamond in his mouth, and he's super cute. I get a lot of compliments on him. Everyone likes him the most. And for older pieces, I bought this for my sister. I'm getting it appraised. I'm not sure. I think this is chalcedony, has seed pearls on the sides, and these really cute little birds. I think that's what sold it to me, the little birds. And then what else do I have? Oh, my lockets. I used to love going to Adamstown and flea markets when I was in high school with my mom, and I would collect these little lockets that I was just, thought they were just so cute and unique. They just tell a story in the past. Sometimes you'll find like little teeth marks. Mamas used to give them to their babies to like kind of tease on. This is a cameo. It's on bone. It was painted. It was a lot more brighter. I wore it all the time in high school, but I was a pretty anxious kid, so I had a tendency of rubbing it. So I kind of rubbed its face off. But I would like to find an artist to recreate that painting for me. I am a 2006 graduate from high school, so I obviously have Tiffany's. If you saw Legally Blonde, all the girls had necklaces and bracelets, and that was definitely the thing when I was in high school. So I do have some Tiffany pieces that I don't really wear anymore, but it's nice just to have. I'll probably give them to my nieces when they get a little older.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I'm the product photographer at Jean. I've been here for 5 months. This is the first one I got from Jean. It's from the 1960s and has a floral motif, which is a common trend in my jewelry. This is also Jean. I love the twisted shoulders. It's also from the 1960s. This ring it was a gift from a friend. I don't know much about it, but it's the one I wear the most. It has an M on it. I just love like a classic signet ring. This one is from Jean as well. It's sardonyx, which I found out is an alternative birthstone for August. So I thrifted this set together and loved it, and then was photographing for Jean and saw this one and had to get it to go with my set. It's Kremitz from the 1960s, I believe. This is an expansion bracelet. Has my initials, and my daughter has the same initials, and so we share it. But this is from Jean, and it's I think it's called a Mad Money charm from the 1950s. It says, "An emergency, break glass," and it has $1 inside of it. This is a buckle, Hayward buckle bracelet from the 1950s that I thrifted, and I love it very much. It has another floral motif. This is a necklace from the 1970s, and I love burnt orange and mustard yellow, and it's dainty, and I love anything dainty and nature inspired. This one is my most recent Jean buy. It's a child's bracelet from the Victorian era. I just think it's like fun and quirky that it says pet. It's an endearing term for children back then, and I get asked about it every time I wear it.
Hi, my name is Kristan. I am a GIA graduate gemologist and the appraiser here at Jean Vintage. I have been in the jewelry industry for over 20 years. I guess, I have a lot of jewelry here that is a mixture of a lot of things I've made or things that people have given me. When I was a kid, my grandmother gave me some pieces. I was, a good student, and I think she gave this to me after graduating. It was a pin that was hers. We shared the same birth month, and her birthday was a day before mine, so this was a December birthstone ring. She also gifted me this beautiful bracelet too. Let's see here, so my other grandmother gifted me the blob ring, or left it to me, I guess you could say. We called this the blob. She wore it all the time, every day, and there's some dents in there too, but it was always a special piece to her, and so it's a special piece to me. So a lot of my jewelry is my own creations. I've started out making jewelry when I was a kid, and then I did metalsmithing in college at Millersville, and I've taken multiple classes since then. One class made these earrings that need some help with the earring wire. After taking the class with Wayne Werner was my teacher, and I bought these earrings from him, and these are my outcome of the class. And you can see it very much inspired my current designs, learning like metal forging and hammering. I find the process very meditative. So just lots of fun things. As a gemologist, I like to incorporate some gemstones. Those are chrysoprase. One of my favorite pieces that I've made for myself is this labradorite necklace, and I just love the phenomenal gemstones with that color flash. So this is a piece that my parents got for me. They love Nantucket, and we were visiting up there, and I saw this, and they wanted me to have a piece of Nantucket. So it's a piece of sea glass from an artisan up there. So this was going back to metalsmithing in Millersville. This was one of my first projects, learning to do sweat soldering, and my teacher Bridget O'Hanrahan had a fun design technique of finding cool shapes in magazines, and I just love these shapes, so I decided to make it into a cuff. It's super tiny, not the most comfortable, wasn't thinking about comfort then, but I still like it. Let's see here. So in that metalsmithing class, my husband, but boyfriend at the time, Devin, we were together in 2002. I made him this funky little charm. He was a Chinook helicopter mechanic at the time, inspired by propellers, and gave it to him for Christmas, telling him, if he got deployed, I would be there and not going anywhere. And then a month and a half later, he got deployed, and at Millersville, I did an independent study, finding a casting company to make it for me in quantity, and started selling it so that I could raise money for his unit, which then turned into selling a couple hundred of them and doing care package campaigns, etc. So there's some people out there may recognize it. I called that our Defender's Charm. And then I have special pieces that one of my dear friends is a jeweler. She made me this fun, funky ring. Love that, my friend Jess. Oh, these are fun. These are my lava rock earrings that one of my best friends in elementary and middle school got for me when she went to Italy, and thank you, Meredith. Here's another fun piece that I made. This little freshwater pearl, and it's 14 karat bezel and silver. I went through a phase of loving melting metal, and so I would make these discs and shape them into a cup, and then I would go in and melt the metal. This is Argentium silver, so it just melts differently than sterling silver. And these rings here are my family rings. They are my birthstone, my daughter's birthstone, and my husband's birthstone. He gave them for Christmas for me, 2 of them representing myself and him. I believe these 2 smaller ones. For my birthday, while I was pregnant with my daughter, and then for her birthday, which was 2 weeks later, he gave me the ring representing her. Got another necklace from my grandparents, probably a Sweet 16 necklace. I still wear it pretty frequently. A classic station necklace, solitaire. I am a big proponent of voting. So I made this little guy just freehand a couple years ago. This guy here, a little piece that I made with an opal I found in Tucson at the Tucson Gem Show a few years ago. So these are, and my ring, are part of a collection I called Beat It Up. It's kind of like fidget jewelry, but I started making these maybe 10 years or so ago. And I love seeds. These were inspired by seeds. I love the sound. It can be a musical instrument. It's just a lot of fun. And then recently I wanted to enter in a call for artists for a magazine competition that I think it was for Metalsmith magazine, and it was the requirement to incorporate nature elements plus movement. So in our area, the pawpaw is a common native plant, and so this is based off of a pawpaw leaf. And then I wanted to incorporate the movement from my past designs, even though these are not what a pawpaw seed looks like. But it, again, I love it. I'm happy with it. So I just made one custom for someone with floating bezel set stones to represent her and her husband, and amongst all the beads. So that was fun. When I wasn't an employee for Meijin, but I was doing the qualitative reports, these earrings came across my desk for gem identification, and I fell in love with them. They're actually vermeil, so it's gold plating over sterling, but all natural sapphires, moonstone, and 4 little diamonds here in the leaves. I just adore them. Shortly after I started working here, I found this ring. Absolutely love this ring. It's an agate. You can kind of see the banding in there maybe. Sometimes you can see it better from the back. Then I fell in love with this ring. Sapphire cabochon with diamonds, and it's platinum. This ring needs a cleanup, but this was a Millersville project in metalsmithing class, and I took a little stone setting class while I was there at Peters Valley Craft Center, which is the other class I took too was there. So just kind of fun. Obviously needs a cleanup, but I like organic forms. So this ring is by Gelin Abachi. It used to be a tension setting, so it did not have this bezel, and I had it for about 5 years before I had my daughter, and probably longer than that. Sorry, I was married 5 years, so 7 years. And I used to be very aware of it, and then my attention moved to my daughter, and I whacked it on something and chipped the stone a little, or shot a little feather into it. So I panicked and had a friend who's a jeweler put it in a bezel for me. So it definitely changed the look, but I love it, and it's still the original stone and ring. And then I found my wedding band, which was special from the jeweler I got started at. Right out of college, I got a job with Smythe Jewelers, who actually helped me with my Defender's Charm project. That's how I connected with them. Put this little shadow band in here so that the stones wouldn't rub up against the ring. And so that's my wedding set.
Hi, I'm Jess. I'm the multimedia manager at Jean Vintage, and I've been in the jewelry industry for 5 years. I'll start with my wedding stack. These are the pieces that I wear every day. My engagement ring is a late 1800s halo with old mine-cut diamonds and a sapphire. And my wedding ring, since it's so difficult to stack rings with halo rings, I just wear my wedding ring on my middle finger. This is an early 1900s sapphire and diamond ring. It's hallmarked for London, England. I was originally not going to wear a wedding ring. I was just going to wear one ring on my ring finger and let that be my engagement ring, but I came across this sapphire and diamond ring and thought it looked really good with my engagement ring, so this is my wedding stack. These are the rest of my rings. I kind of just wear these depending on the day or the outfit. I definitely gravitate toward retro 1940s, 1950s, 60s styles, and Edwardian styles, some Victorian. I really like to just try to collect a little bit of everything. Definitely lots of halos. I have always been a fan of the halo style, hence my engagement ring. This is actually a 1980s sapphire and diamond halo ring that I bought myself a few years ago. And got the upgrade, so this one I don't wear as much, but I kind of am just holding on to it as kind of like a travel ring, so I'll wear it if I don't want to wear my real engagement ring around. I love cigar bands. I think they're really nice for everyday wear. Not too flashy, but also, you can't miss them when you're wearing them. This is probably my favorite ring I've ever bought myself. Moonstone's my favorite gemstone. This one has just gorgeous agilurescence, and I just love the shoulders on it, so I wear this one whenever I can. Obviously, Moonstone's a soft stone, so it's definitely a special occasion piece, but anytime I'm trying to dress up, this is one of the first rings that I go for. My onyx cat ring. I love cats, so I definitely want to build up my cat-related jewelry collection. This is the first one. I bought myself this ring as a sort of celebration of reaching 100,000 followers on YouTube. I had never had a ruby before, and this might actually be my biggest statement ring. This is a baby ring. It's marked for Osby and Barton. I like to wear it as a midi ring. I really love pearls. I think they're so classic, and they're one of my birthstones, so I tend to gravitate toward a lot of pearls. I was never a big fan of jewelry with initials on it, but I happened to find this one with my first initial on it, and I don't know, it just spoke to me. So this is my only signet ring, but it's a really great everyday piece. This turtle ring actually has kind of a funny story. I was out on my bachelorette weekend. My girlfriends took me antiquing. They know me very well. And I found this turtle ring, and we had just recently gotten a turtle necklace in the shop that opened up. So I saw this ring and thought, okay, I think that's a locket. So I asked to see it closer and open it up, and it has a little turtle in it, and decided to go ahead and get it. Even though this is not the kind of jewelry that I typically wear, I thought, this will be a nice thing to kind of remember my bachelorette party. And then I go home and find out that my fiance, now husband, who was also on his bachelor party the same day, had also happened to get some plastic turtle toys from the arcade that he and his guy friends went to. So we both independently got turtle things on our bachelor and bachelorette parties. So this is a special reminder of that day. I absolutely love Rose of Sharon rings. The symbolism, just the intricacy. I knew I had to have one for myself. This one is a little bit big for me, so I don't wear it very often, but I also just don't want to resize it. So it sits in here. I think I've worn it once or twice. I wish I could wear it more, but I just love to look at it. This is actually a family heirloom piece. I believe it belonged to my great-grandmother. Early 1900s Edwardian amethyst, a seed pearl halo. This is a beautiful piece. It's a little bit big for my tiny wrist. So I think I've only worn it once, but it is very special to me since it is a family heirloom. This has kind of a funny story. A lovely customer and fan of the Mae Jean Vintage social media saw a post about me getting married, and she actually sent me a really sweet note and this gift of a vintage necklace. We believe it's made of bone. She sent me this really sweet message saying how much she loved our videos and wanted to congratulate me, and I don't know, it's just like, this was a big moment for me, getting some fan mail and a very sweet wedding gift from a customer. Now for some of my other jewelry, fun fact about me, I did not get my ears pierced until my mid to late 20s. So once I finally got my ears pierced, I just had a ball getting all of these quirky earrings, mostly from Etsy. Some from different travels that I've been on. I got these from Martha's Vineyard. These Edelweiss earrings I got when I went to Austria a few years ago. This Dick Van Dyke and Mary Tyler Moore set are from a local lady. I believe she goes by My Aunt Debbie. She makes some quirky earrings with vintage pop culture references. These I got from Mae Jean. I wore these for my wedding. And then I have a couple of other stud earrings that I got from Mae Jean. These are from a discontinued birthstone collection that we did. These sapphire and diamond halos I actually thrifted myself. I found these in a thrift store and I was very proud. I think this is the first and only time that I ever actually got fine jewelry from a thrift store. Love matching these with my other sapphire and diamond jewelry. This is currently the only brooch that I have in my collection, a cameo habillé with a diamond necklace. It does actually convert to a necklace if I wanted to wear it that way. I've always loved the classy look of cameos, the bright, light academia look, and I especially love when they have a little piece of their own jewelry. I used to do a lot of swing dancing, so this caught my eye in an antique shop in New Bedford, Connecticut. Shout out to Cottage Antiques. This is a locket expansion bracelet. I love this piece. I love expansion bracelets because I think that they look really good on my wrist, which just is very small. Haven't decided what to put in the locket yet. And then this is my other bracelet that I have. It's a padlock bracelet, retro, probably 1940s. And finally, my necklaces. I keep them all safe in these little baggies. This is a gold-filled simulated moonstone necklace. I really like this because of the length. It's very short, and I think it looks good with a lot of different outfits. This is a locket that I found with my first and middle initials on it, so anytime that happens, I always encourage people, hey, if you find your exact initials, you need to have that piece. This is a book locket. I never replaced the original photos in it, so I still have these random people on the inside, but I kind of like that. I think it's fun and quirky and just kind of carrying on this mysterious tradition of keeping people's photos in lockets. This is probably my favorite necklace. This is a Gibson girl locket. Love the diamonds that she's wearing, the hairstyle. I have it on a antique lorgnette chain with a little pearl and flower motif. Again, I love Edwardian jewelry, so this is quintessential Edwardian. As a June baby, I feel like I have to have a classic strand of pearls. My shaker locket that I made myself at Mae Jean. This is the most recent pendant that I have added to my collection. It is citrine and pearl, which are my and my husband's birthstones, and I wore this one for our wedding.
My name is Andy. I have worked on jewelry for about 6 years, and I started at Mae Jean Vintage as an assistant goldsmith. I kind of started collecting them when I was younger. This one I actually got at a thrift store, and it was dead, but I looked it up online and couldn't even find this model. So I was like, I went back to the thrift store to go get it because I thought that was cool. Well, let's see. This is my grandfather's watch. I got from him when he passed away. I'm not sure of the age of this, but I did engrave a saying from our family on there. It's actually from our family crest. It says, I neither fear nor hate. Let's see, this one is my other grandfather's watch. I think they're the most interesting. This is one of my favorites. It's an automatic Suyosa, I think. But I really like the color of the dial. Well, this isn't really jewelry, but this is a lighter that was my grandfather on my mother's side. He got this in China. I've polished it a couple times, but it always re-tarnishes up. I actually bought this from a previous workplace that somebody had. It's carved tiger's eye in, I think it's 10 karat gold. That is a chain I bought it on eBay actually. And I liked how chunky it was. I thought it might be cool, but it's too short for me. So it's like a choker if I wear it.
Yeah.
So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do with it yet. I'm probably gonna resell it or something. And this is just a bracelet. This was also an older one that I purchased. Don't wear it a whole lot, but it's sterling silver. I have a tiger's eye bead bracelet that I like. I made that one. I put the special bead there in the center. It has really interesting variations, and the two on either side are also different. And the rest are all like basic tiger's eye, but this bead is, my sister got this bead for me in Spain. I believe it's wood. Oh yeah, I got my wedding ring on. It's rose gold. And this is, I put the hammer finish on it. It was just a plain polished band. And then I have always in Italian engraved on the inside.